Hi everyone, Suffolk Record Collector here again with another video. This is a vinyl finds video. So I've got quite a few folk albums here, but start off with a couple of prog albums. I've got some decent stuff here, so we'll see how we get on. Right, first off, this is a band Man from Wales. This is their first album from 1969 called Revelation. I picked this up in my local record shop. Got a good price on this and another one, which I'll show you in a minute. This is, I don't think that's a first pressing. It's on the pie label, blue pie label. You can see. But I believe that's a 1969 reissue, a very, very early reissue, because of the way the black is all down one side, whereas I don't think that was on the original. But even so, a very difficult album to find. And this is in, if you can see, this is in beautiful, beautiful condition. I can't believe it myself, really. Very good a condition. It's been on my want list for a long time. I eventually got a copy at a good price. Like I say, it's quite a hard album to find. It's a prog album. Man did become a prog band, but this is a little bit more psychedelic. It's not a full psychedelic album. There is hints of prog and that in here, but more psychedelic, I would say. This was released in January '69. So that's that one. And with that, I also bought this one, which is Man's second album. Now they switched from Pie to the Dawn label for this one. This is called 2 Inches of Plastic with a Hole in the Middle. It's a gatefold. And this was released in September '69, and I believe this one is a first pressing. I've got to do a little bit more research, but I'm pretty sure that it is. And this is definitely more prog than their first album. Still hadn't got quite into their stride, but yeah, still another hard album to find, this one, because they didn't do very well at all commercially, not really. And I'll show you, this is on the Dawn label. This is on the Lilac Dawn label. Again, in beautiful condition. I don't think this had ever hardly been played. So it's really happy. I've got quite a few Man albums. And I'm really quite happy to have these in the collection, because I didn't have these, and I've not seen them about at all. It's the first time I've really run into them in the second-hand market. Obviously you probably get them online and stuff, but yeah, really happy to get those. Now next I've got a few. This, which I picked up just the other day actually. It's an very early copy of Joni Mitchell's Blue. So this is a little bit rarer than most. This is an early 1971 reissue, so it's not a first pressing, but it's New Zealand. It's from New Zealand, so it's a New Zealand pressing on Reprise label in lovely condition. I do have a copy of this, but this is an earlier copy than what I have. Plus, like I say, this is a single New Zealand pressing. There's a sticker on the back here, the record specialists, Lambert and Key, Wellington. It says on the back here, subject, manufactured in New Zealand by his master's voice. And it sounds really good, and that's clean. I mean, for 1971, this album is really, really clean. Because normally you see this album, it's not in the best of condition. It's played a lot. But it's such a good album. So, and this was cheap. I didn't have to pay a lot of money for this at all. So really, really, really happy to put that into the collection. It's quite a scarce album. I looked on Discogs. There's not one for sale. So quite scarce. So next I've got a few more folk albums, and I was at a local market. The guy there sells records, and I go to him quite a bit. And I was looking through the crates and come across one, flicked and another, and another, and another. So I've got 4 albums here by the same band. Now I've got most of their stuff on CD, but I'll pick it up if I see it on vinyl at the right sort of price. And I couldn't believe that in the crate there was 4. So start off with the first one. This is a band called the Pentangle, and this is the album Basket of Light. So gatefolds. There. Right, now this is from 1969. This is the first press from 1969 on the Transatlantic label. On here you've got side 1, Light Flight, Once I Had a Sweetheart, Springtime Promise, Light Wake Dirge, Train Song, and side 2 is Hunting Song, Sally Go Round the Roses, The Cuckoo, and House Carpenter. The band, where is it? On here. It doesn't tell me, but yeah. So really pleased to get this, and it wasn't expensive. All these Pentangle albums were cheap. And it's in lovely condition. Again, it's on the Transatlantic labels, first press on Transatlantic label. Really, really happy to get that. Obviously, everyone knows Pentangle. I mean, you had John Renbourn, Bert Jansch, Jackie McShee, Terry Cox, and Danny Thompson with the band. And they produced 6 albums. I think they split up in 72 after the last one, Solomon Seal. They released Solomon Seal, didn't do very well. They split up and they got back together again in the early 80s, but we'll get to that in a moment. So that is Basket of Light. Really happy I don't have that on vinyl, so really, really happy to have a copy of that. The second one is again Pentangle again. This is the album Cruel Sister from 1970. Now this is not a first press, this is a 1977 reissue on the Extra, it says it there, the Extra label. You see the labels. This is near mint. I mean, this don't look like it's ever been played. I think I paid £8 for this, which is, yeah, I didn't mind paying £8 for this. This is a brilliant album. On here you've got on side 1, A Maid That's Deep in Love, When I Was in My Prime, Lord Franklin, Cruel Sister. And side 2, the whole side is just one track, Jack Orion. Brilliant album, lovely condition. Again, lovely. They've all been in lovely condition. All of these Pentangle albums I've got were in fine condition. So that's that. And that's a really good album. Next, was one I didn't know about. This is a Pentangle album I didn't know about. This is a first press, and this is a compilation called Pentangly. It's on the Transatlantic label. The tracks you have on here, so it's a selection of tracks from the first 3 or 4 albums. So you've got on here, I've Got a Feeling, which came from Sweet Child, Helping Hand, which was from Reflection, Pentangling, which was from the debut album, the Pentangle, When I Get Home from Reflection, side 2, Rain and Snow from Reflection, The Leak Wake Dirge from Basket of Light, The Trees They Do Grow High from Sweet Child, The Maid That's Deep in Love from Cruel Sister, Once I Had a Sweetheart from Basket of Light. It's a really good album, and these tracks really flow. really flow together. So it's a good listen, really good listen. And again, that's a transatlantic. It's on the transatlantic label, and that is a first pressing. Again, in beautiful condition. You see that? Really, really nice condition. Not a mark on it. Don't think it ever been played again. Again, this was £8, so I don't mind paying that for these. I think that's really cheap, to be fair. I think there should be a little bit more, but that's that. Really, really good. And the next one, the last one from Pentangle, is an album they got back together in the 80s. I'm not quite sure when, and I don't really know much about them from when they got back together again. I've got a couple of albums, but this is in the round from the Pentangle. This was released in 1986. Now, that's a little bit different to the first run of Pentangle, because missing from here, you haven't got John Renbourn, that's not hit on this album, and nor is Danny Thompson, the bass player. So, and that does sound a bit different. It's still a very good album. The band consisted, you've got Bert Jansch, banjo and vocals, Terry Cox, drums, percussion and vocals, Jackie McShee, vocals, Mike Pickett, electric guitar, fiddle, mandolin and vocals, so he's took the place of John Renbourn basically, and Nigel Portman Smith, bass, DX7, Fender Rhodes, piano, accordion and vocals. He's took the place of Danny Thompson. Yeah, this is not a bad album. Side one starts off, Play the Game, The Open Sea, which is a brilliant track. She Moved Through the Fair, which is from one of their older albums, Reflection, I believe. Set Me Free When the Night Is Over, Come to Me Baby, Sunday Morning Blues, Side 2, Chase That Devil Away, The Saturday Movie, Sur Agra, Circle the Moon and Let Me Be. This is a first pressing on, when did that come on? Making Waves. The label's called Making Waves, show you that. See the label, Making Waves, in lovely condition. Again, this was fairly cheap, not a lot of money at all. So 4 Pentangle albums, on vinyl that I didn't have on vinyl into the collection was always a good thing, and they were cheap. They really were cheap, and I was surprised at the prices of them and the condition of them, because condition is everything today. Right, so we're going to move on a little bit now. I've got a couple of prog albums and a rock album, metal album. So these two are, I have these on vinyl, but not in this condition. I mean, these are in mint condition, and they were not expensive. This one is Barclay James Harvest, Time Honoured Ghosts. Now that's an original first UK pressing, and that's in beautiful condition. The sleeve is there's hardly a bump on the corner or anything. Really, really clean, and the vinyl is unplayed. That's how I would describe it. There's not a pop or a crackle on it. Some of it's an inner sleeve, picture inner sleeve. On a custom label. You can see that, the butterfly. They are on Polydor at this point, yeah. It's like a Polydor custom label. And this is a great album. I think a lot of people are not into Barclay James Harvest so much today. I mean, this didn't cost me a lot. This cost me £12 for a mint copy of Time Honoured Ghosts, which is probably one of their best albums, to be fair. On side one, starts off In My Life, Sweet Jesus, Titles, which is amazing, Jonathan, Beyond the Grave, side 2, Song for You, Hymn for the Children, Moon Girl and One Night. So this is an upgrade for me. Definitely better than the one I've had for the last 30 years. So So really happy to find that actually. And next there's another Barclay James Harvest in equally mint condition. So a little bump there you might just be able to see, but this one is from 76 I want to say, I believe it is. Well, we'll have a look at that. Barclay James Harvest Gone to Earth. It comes in a lovely, you can see now, die cut sleeve. That's the inner, and you can change it if you want, so you can have that. You usually have that. Again on Polydor, but comes on a custom label. Beautiful condition, never been played. I would go as far as to say it's never been played. Yeah, this is from 77. Time on a Ghost was from 75. Again, this is a UK first pressing. Just beautiful condition. And again, I bought the two together, 12 quid each. So I really think that that's cheap for what these are. Side one starts off with him, Love is Like a Violin, Friend of Mine, and The Amazing Poor Man's Moody Blues. Side two is Hard Hearted Woman, Sea of Tranquility, Spirit on the Water, Leper's Song, Taking Me Higher. Brilliant stuff. I've been into Barclay James Harvest now since I was about, just before I left school. I left school in 79, so I discovered them around about 78. As a 15-year-old, and to be honest, I don't listen to them that much today, but I still like them as much as I did way back then. I think that they were an amazing band, to be fair. And next and last is a rock metal album that I picked up because I've been looking for this for a while, but I haven't found it in the right sort of condition and the right price and all that. I've passed on it a few times, and you forget about it for a year or two, don't you? You know, and go. But anyway, that's the Diamond Head, Living on Borrowed Time. There's an amazing Rodney Matthews cover. You can see that, absolutely amazing cover. This is an original first pressing from 1982. The tracks on it are, side one you have In the Heat of the Night, to Heaven from Hell, Call Me, Lightning to the Nations, and side two, Borrowed Time, Don't You Ever Leave Me, and Am I Evil. And obviously Metallica covered the track Am I Evil on their Garage Inc. album. And that is on here, the original of Am I Evil. It is an amazing track. This is a very underrated album. When it came out, it had like a cult following, but this really is an excellent say metal, rock come metal album from 82, from the new wave of British heavy metal. They were riding that wave. This was their second album. Yeah, and a very good one. Highly recommend. If you're into rock music, you will like this. It's not quite metal, but it's not far off. Yeah, and that's all good stuff. That's brilliant. Anyway, that's the vinyl finds for now. We'll be coming back with more in the future. But yeah, that's just a few. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks everyone for subscribing and watching my videos. It means a lot. Until the next time, see you all later.